All right, we are back. We come back. So where we had ended was this is where we ended. We have a nice looking nav bar that when we go on it, it'll go red. When you hover on it, it'll go red, and it's got that line. Perfect. Probably later. I think it's always best to as a person to revisit your projects. So I feel like when you guys are now in week maybe week because it's 9 weeks, right? When you're probably in week 5 or 6, you should go back to your superhero app and then revive it, man. Make it look nice. But it's also important to understand that at this point we are following what these people like what IT Varsity wants from us or what it's teaching us. It's very important to treat IT Varsity like a client. Sometimes the client will say, I want it like this. Whether you agree or not, or whether it doesn't look as nice to you or not, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, you work for the client and not the other way around. You could do have your own personal projects where you go crazy and have the design looking beautiful, but if the client says, Mina, I want this, Mina, I want this, and you can't do anything of it, like you can't, I was a PC client, you know, you do what the client wants. Okay. So I think for me, I'm just going to go bare bone minimum, like follow exactly what they want so that, and let's follow that so that it comes out the way it's supposed to, the way they intended it to, and hopefully you guys will learn something. So with our header, we done for now. Let's close you. You can rest before to rest. So now we are going to the main. Okay, on the main, we are going to focus on a few things. All right. So going back here onto this one, what they want us to do here is to create a div with the class and the images. Let me explain what a div is. A div is like a scuff guys, right? And I want to explain this in the best way possible. There's a section and there's a div, right? And I'll use the scuff analogy so that it makes sense for you guys. A div is a container that you put unrelated content, right? When I say unrelated content, this is content that does not necessarily link with each other, right? Let me just do this. Let me say FNB because I like to speak about something engi begile, like to give you real life examples so it actually makes sense. All right. So for me, in this case, right, this right here, this is an image and this is text. This is your text, this is your image. All right. For me, what I'll do, I'll put you see this whole this black part, it's a section, guys. It's a section. Inside a section, the image is in a div. This should be in a div. It should be. But let's check if it is. It should be. But let's check if it is. Let us check if it is. All right. Let us check. All right. So picture is in a div. Yes, the picture is in a div. Uh, Yes. So you see what I mean. Picture is in a div, and like the font on the side is in a div, right? I hope you can see it from here, but judging from this, like from this side, the picture, this showing the letters in a div, picture in a div, right? And they are all inside, yes, and for sure they are all under a section, guys. You see when I select this section, it selects everything. They're under a section. So what does that mean? I'm like, okay, Frank, what does this mean? Let's go here, if you're asking, right? No, not here. Right here. So, so you see here, our images are inside a div, right? No problem. So, best way to explain this, we have a section and a div. So remember I said div. Inside a div is unrelated content, but inside a section, it is related content. Best way I can put it, let's put this Kaftin analogy. E-rice, you put it with e-rice, guys. You understand? Right? Moifag with kaftin, you put rice with rice. Let's say, you're just putting it in the fridge or something like that. There's just that 5 liter there's that 5 liter kaftin for ice cream. Alright. That one you'd know would say Mauvula lapaya. Pap. That's pap. Literally, uzotoli pap most of the time, right? And maybe gravy or whatever is put in a separate container, but pap is for that 5 liter. Like if you like mandole, like but yeah, right? So this is how it works. Section is more of a section is like iskaftin, which has, you see these kaftins which have divisions inside where you can put your bread on one side, where you can put your grapes on one side, but it's all food that you're going to eat, but our food klangane. So it's got sections, it's got departments inside, right? A div is like that department inside the kaftin. Okay? The div is that department inside is kaftin. This section is the kaftin. And your div is that small part inside is kaftin. Hope that makes sense. I hope that analogy drives the point home. So in this case, right, since we are not dealing with a lot of stuff, we're just dealing with images only, and they're not related content, and we're not going to be, doing something like FNB right now as of yet, which is like this, right? What we're just going to do, let's make a simple div, a simple container. Okay? All right. So, div. Let's create our div. Remember, our div is the section inside the container, right? We're making a smaller nyana thing, but we want to put our images. All right. So judging from what they said here, right? Here you just create a div with the class gallery, and now I want to talk about classes and IDs. What are those, right? So remember, there's an opening and closing tag. A class or ID or an attribute, you're going to find it in the opening tag, right? So guys, there's something called a class. Right? This is how you write it. Then gallery. Then close it like this. Let's close it. Having dinner, my Zanje. Let me remove you then, since you want to be all sassy. Okay. So div. So we've created our div. Class. What is class? What is ID? This is what a class looks like, right? And this is what an ID looks like, right? So it's ID equals gallery, or class equals gallery, right? But we are going to be doing a class. Best way I can explain a class or ID, right? An ID is more like your ID number, your ID, like your ID, it's unique to you. No two people can use an ID in the same country, ever, unless muntu shy fraud. But no two people can use the same ID, right? That ID is unique to you. It's got information about you. It's got information about your family tree, who you related to, how you fit in the system, your fingerprints. Everything that is relating to you is in your ID. Okay? Class, and sometimes my examples are going to be a bit controversial, but it's for you to understand. A class is for essentially, a class, the way I can explain it is, say you're black, you're white, you colored, you're Indian, right? So in a sense where, you're American, you're South African, it puts a group of people under one description. You understand? Mabetsi, no, amasusu. You are grouping you are describing a group of people in one word. That is a class, right? Where an ID, You understand? So in this case, we want to affect a group of people, but with one word or with one description. Therefore, when we say class equals gallery, we are saying, okay, from here on going forward, everything inside this div, right? If we want to affect it, we'll affect it using the class called gallery, right? And you need to remember ID, since it's with one thing, you can only use it once. You can only use it once. In the same way, ID, you can only be for one person. But in class, you can use it so many times because it's versatile. Okay? So let's put our images, right? And honestly, at this point, I'm lazy to type because it's in the morning, guys, and I still have to wait. Like, I have to go to I have to leave by 6. So I'll just copy this. Okay, I'll just copy this. But please, for you guys, type on, right? But essentially, what I did was and not to confuse you guys, because sometimes when I paste, I feel like getting roper because you guys end up doing what I did instead of following what I'm telling you. Do as I say, not as I do. All right. So let's just explain what I did, because I created my div with the class called gallery. Here I created an image. So image, the source of the image is images/Avengers_1. Guys, the folder is already there and the names are already there. So what I'm saying is, I'm saying, okay, HTML, please look at my images folder here. And then went to images. Slash, when there's a slash, it's saying look in further inside this folder. And then go to Avengers1JPG and display Avengers1JPG. And that's what it did. So if I save here and I go to my site, I say, hey, this looks horrible, Sana. But yeah, I honestly I preferably would never have it look this big. But again, you have to understand, the reason why it looks so ugly, it doesn't look as wow, is because we're still like at the basic level. Again, you have to understand that this image is not high quality, guys. This was stretched out. It's not looking the way it is supposed to look, right? But so far, this is what we have, right? But if I'm not mistaken, it's not supposed to look like this. Let me save, because I was playing around with it before. At first, it's supposed to look like this. My bad. So when you put call up your images, it's going to look like this. And if you notice, they look way better when they're like this, because what? Yeah, but the problem is we cannot have white space on this side. No, that we cannot. And I want you guys to see something, right? So now we have our group of people who are under. All these images are under. Yes, you guessed it right. They're under a class called gallery. So now when we go to our CSS, right? And remember, guys, the way I showed you, we said things go according to hierarchy. There are levels to this. You don't just go, okay, gallery, boom. You understand? It doesn't work that way. We need to look at it and say, okay, under gallery, like I have a class called what? Gallery. Okay, fine. I want to affect gallery. That's my class. What is it under gallery that I want to affect? I want to affect images under gallery. We have to be very specific. Now we are saying, okay, let me not look for something which is going to like anger people. But I'm just looking for typical stereotypes. You understand? Where people are like, there's that stereotype we have, whereby it's like, when the people are saying, yeah, closer hands, pulling hliziyo and things like that. And honestly, I've dated a couple and I'm like, not really, guys. It's not really. Just that there's a stereotype, Acorn. But the way they do it is they're now saying, okay, closer hands, yes, but they're now going deeper into the description to say they do this specific thing in the same way with this, right? So, but hear me, guys. I'm not saying please don't come for me. I'm just giving an example of a stereotype. Okay, don't come for me. All right. So, fine. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to our CSS, right? And we are going to okay. So how you write a class or how you write an ID in CSS. For an ID, it's hashtag, which is like more like number, right? And you say, let's say, if you wrote ID, let's say your ID was class, you say hashtag class, right? For a class itself, it's a dot, and then you say gallery, right? And then what we're going to have here, right? We are going to, oh yes, we say gallery. We want to affect our gallery, but now going further, we don't just want to affect our gallery, we want to affect the images inside the gallery. So now when we are here, now we want so looking at this, I want these to be omunye phezu omunye, not just like this. Even though it looks nice like this, I'd probably have like this moved to the center and slightly spread out, you know? And probably when you click on this, I'd have the card flip. And then when it flips, that's when you have the bio and everything. But unfortunately, we are at beginner level, guys. So I don't want to bombard you and make you guys crack your heads. Let's follow what the client wants. And IT Varsity said we want buzz and Jazama image here. So that's what we're gonna do. So what we're going to do now is I want to stretch out these images so each one can be on top of each other in the same way as the video, right? Because it's also important to do what the client tells you so that you can be versatile, right? So I want the width. We want the width, right, to be 100%, right? When the width is 100%, and it's important to put it at 100% instead of pixels because 100% it will stretch with it so it fits on mobile and your tablet and your screen and your home TV and everything. So now when you go back, right? Yo, but it's okay. Now I need you guys to realize something. Remember when I said I want my my nav bar to be black. Now do you understand why it has to be black? Right? Because now all of these things are black and they blend together. Togetherness. Right? We could have made this red, but I feel like design wise, black blends better. So even now, reason why I wanted the red is like now when you go here on that black background, it pops, right? And it really does pop out. So, sometimes when you're doing front end, luckily, if you're lucky enough, you find someone who designs. You find a designer, a web designer. So you just implementing your code. But sometimes you actually have to design the site, and you have to design the site. You have to code the site and make sure everything looks nice. So you have to wear multiple hats. So for me, this looks nice. I'm happy with my images. As the client said, they want my image is like I'm a banner and shit. That's just huge, right? We good. All right, we good. So essentially, apparently, you're supposed to click on this, click on the image, and you get a bio about Uto, Uto Unjani, and all of that. So let's go back to our lessons. So this one we've covered. Resizing the images we've covered. Adding an Avenger bio page, right? So in this case, you have to write a full bio talking about, the guy's power stats and everything, durability, and all these things. And in a sense, you need to type all of that. And so it's a bio page. So how would go about this, right? I need to start creating the pages. How many Avengers do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is what we're going to do. You need to work smart, guys. Right? We're going to create. I'll say bio one. Or let me say to.html. in a sense, we probably will want his picture, but I do. In this case, I'm remixing it in a sense. I want his picture here. So let me do this. Let me just pull up this guy. All right. I did show you guys this exclamation mark, and you press enter or a tab, and then you get that from the image. And I say Thor, right? Bio, Thor bio, right? Here, in this case, since the page is not going to the page doesn't necessarily have a header in this case because it's a it's a pretty much standard small page. It's like a standard page. It's not like this one which has like a bunch of content, and like this is a main page where it's going to be like having all of the things that we need, right? It's good practice to have your header main and everything on the landing page where you open the site, and this is everything because you're going to have a footer down here and all of that. But here we're keeping it bare bones, right? So this example for the header main and footer is for like bigger sites that you'll be working on, because the bigger they get, like the harder it is to actually manage the code. So in this case, in our body, right, I am going to put, let me see, I'm not being lazy, guys, but I'm just trying to show you, right? So let me just copy this, okay, and let me copy this. All right. Do not, hey, do not copy. On your guys, near typer. I'm used to this. You guys do not copy. So, what we're going to see here, right, is essentially, if we open a live server, because this is on a second website, what we are going to see here is this, right? And another thing, reason why you don't want it to just be like this is, I'll show you. Go to inspect tools, right? Then you get this, okay? And then when you click here and you click to, let's say, iPhone SE, do you see that it's cutting off the image on a smaller phone, right? Because you get different types of phones here. Let's see on a 12 Pro what it looks like. The image is cut out, right? If you look on a Pixel, the image is cut out. If you look on a, let's say, Samsung A51, the image is cut out, right? Then we go to responsive, where like the site is full. You see here, image is cut out, but on responsive where it's full, image is not cut out. Why? Because this guy here, that space is occupies. So what we do, we have Thor. Okay, we have Thor. Here we have bio, where it's like, we have his name, his birth, Asgard, alignment good, and everything. They pretty much explain all of that. I don't have to explain this, right? But let me just go back. So I wanted to talk about the picture first. So what we do, right? The problem is some of you guys will create this, and this is why I said don't copy and paste. You have to type this so you remember. Here we created the HTML, but we have not linked it. Because remember here it says what? Div class here to gallery, because now you can use class across a lot of fields. As an ID, you only use it on one element only. All right. So here I've got gallery. Is it being affected by CSS? No. Sometimes you guys will say, no, Frank, my CSS is not working. The image is not doing anything. The colors are not changing. Yes, because you did not link it. If I go here, up here, it's not linked. So what I need to do is link it. Just link it to my CSS and then press save. Now, when I go back, now we have this huge, we've got this huge looking thing right here, like that just says, okay, I'm here. Okay. And I think the best time to use an ID and I might not be following exactly per se, but according to the IT varsity lesson, and that's not the point. I'm not here to replicate it. I'm here to just give you guys a guideline and show you how you guys are supposed to do it, right? This we're going to use an ID for to show you how you can only affect one element with an ID for this one. Okay, so this one I want it to look big. I want it to look nice, not actually before everything else. I don't want it to be an H2. For me, I want it to be an H1 because H1 looks bigger, guys. Looks bigger. But in as much as the H1 looks bigger, I still want to make it bigger than what this is. I wanted to make it like maybe reach somewhere here around this forehead, and this will push everything down. So here we've got the full thing. I do feel like this part is very small for my liking. Probably might like bump up the size of this, you know, because given the image in itself, you get what I mean. So in this case, would I use, okay, this is a, you know, bio as well. You know, if you look at bio is so small in terms of like, I'm looking at the image, you know, bio is so small for me, but you know, we'll change it. We'll change it. So all the stats and everything, and you know, cool. So what I want to do here, let me do this. You see, we have a div for the image, right? We have a div for the image. So here, guys, it's just headings and paragraphs, and then a br is for making a space. That's it. But the rest is just headings and paragraphs. But for me, looking at this whole thing, and guys, I want it bigger, you know. But let's just follow that for now. Okay, but this one we're going to play around with. This one we are going to play around with. Okay, so essentially we got the Thor thingy sorted, right? Let's go into here, and here I will say give it an ID, but it's own. Remember, ID arco is for one person, right? And I'll just say Thor. Okay, let me make you small letters. I'll just say Thor, right? In this case, when I've done this, right? When I've done this, now what I want to do is go to my CSS, okay, and then say Thor. Remember, hashtag Thor, right? And what I want to do is justify content, right? And make it at the make it like sit at the center. For me, let me see if that's gonna work. Is it going to look nice if it's at the center? No, it's not justify content. But again, if it's at the center, I'd have to change everything else on this side to make it. So let's make it bigger and let's change the color of it. Okay. Let's change the color. Door could be red. Red? Yeah, could be red. Red's fine. Let's change the font. Font size, yeah, I want the font size to be a bit bigger. It's not enough. Ting, ting, ting. Got the Kendrick thing playing in my head. Let's make you 80. I want to see how that goes. Yeah. Let's make you a bit 80. Right? And for me, no, actually, go back. Let's make you 50. Right? And I'm noticing that something missing. There's something missing. And what is missing? What is missing for me is my how do I go back home? Right? We don't have a way back home, guys. So what I'm going to do is I am going to copy my header because we already did it, right? We copy our header, And actually, with this one, we have to follow everything else. We have to follow our structure, honestly, right? So we have our header. Under our header, we have to have our main, because we started it. We might as well stick to it. Okay. So under our main, right? Just cut you off and put you here down here, right? And yeah, domain, and then we are going to have our footer. All right. So save this. Now, when we go back, oh no, why is it not showing? Hold on. Okay. So right now, I don't like this white thing here. I really don't. But now I'm realizing that on my Thor background, what I could do. Remember, I'm still, if I go to here, on my Thor, I change the color, I change the font size. Let me see if I can change the background color. Change it black. Here, guys, it's about experimentation and playing around. Yeah. Right? So I've changed the color so it matches the top, right? So we've got Thor in red, Lysuk in red, and then I've got it matches the theme of this, right? Okay, so Thor here, and they've got his full bio down there. Okay, no problem. So what I want to do now is, so I did the heavy lifting on the first page. So everything else you just copy and paste certain things. Okay, so Thor is done, right? Remember, guys, we talked about heavy lifting. The rest you don't have to do. Okay, so what you have to do now, and I'm just going to do a few things, right? So here, yes, right? We've done it, sorted, everything looks fine, right? Let's make our thingy clickable, like in terms of a link. Okay. So we go here, and under our image, we make you an anchor, right? And say href equals, then we will select Thor, right? And we shall close you, but it will always force us to, so you have to remove it because it will auto suggest that. Then you have to put it at the end here, right? And you see now it has changed what we want, but not a problem. If you know what you're doing, it becomes easy, right? So we open an image tag again. Okay, enter. Sometimes it does this when it you have to press insert because when it's, yeah, okay. So it's messing up my things. Open an image tag. SRC. Let me just clear this whole thing. See why my copy and paste are not advisable sometimes. So Thor, and then we open our image tag. Having Dina image, then SRC, and then it has to go to, then we go to, what are we looking for? We're looking for our images slash Avenger. So I will select Avengers here, right? And we shall close this image, okay? And then that image has now become a clickable link. All right, so now unfortunately probably have to scrap all these guys. So I guess you've got what you wanted in terms of me not copy and pasting. All right, so let's start with this. Thor HTML. So I just want to see with my, who do I start with? I got Thor. Yes, I only got Thor right now, right? Just want to see on my images who's second. Iron Man. All right, so Thor, yes. Iron Man, yes. Hulk, yes. Black Widow, was she the second? Let's look at those right now, just to be sure. Black Widow is number 3. Hulk is number 3, right? Black Widow is number, no, that's Hawkeye. Right, cool. Right, and let me just save this. Then we go to, go here, got Iron Man, and then let's do Hawkeye, because it does not want me to copy and paste, unfortunately. Black Widow, no, it's Hawkeye HTML. Then that's number 4. Number 5, who's number 5 for me? Captain America. All right, so it's this thing does come in handy when you're typing code and you don't want it to be, when you want to be a bit quick, guys. So now we've got all our things here. So we have all our characters with clickable images. I just have to create these on the side, right? But now going to our homepage, we've got everyone in there. We've got the whole gang. Now, when we click on you, right? Where do you take us? Thor's bio, right? Seamless, because now our nav bar is everywhere. So it's Thor, and it gives us Asgardian, dun. But now we need to go back home, guys. Yeah, one. And the nice thing about when you go back home, our home button is there because we set it up. So we go to Thor, it takes us to Thor's bio. Then we go back home, it takes us back to home. You get? All right. So now what we need to do is just create these other ones. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to copy the href. Just have that. Okay. So we've got Iron Man. Now we're going to have to get the Hulk. Get the Hulk. Now we have to get Hawkeye. I need to be done here by 6. Now we need to get Hawkeye, and we need to do Captain America. Right. Then we need to do Black Widow. Right. Okay. So now they're linked. So if we save this and now go here, if we click on Iron Man, it will take us to a blank site because we don't have anything, right? So